Steeped in history, York is a truly unique city. However, as with all cities, it is constantly having to change and reinvent itself. To celebrate the International Day of Older Persons, we brought a group of senior York residents to the Castle Museum and the Yorkshire Museum to reflect on how they have seen their city and society change over the years.
That Dr. Rosie, Susie at that music, my granddaughter would hide behind the settee if she was here because that frightened her to death. I think we first rented our television. That would be about around 1955. Because I remember going in with our rental money for the coronation. It was really little, really small it was. We paid £0.50 each for a neighbour that had a 12-inch television, and we paid it. She put a meal on for her sandwiches, and we spent all morning watching the Queen's coronation for £0.50, and it was worth every evening. I remember my mother saying, one time, Joe, she says, in your generation, she says, you'll be able to switch a light and you'll be able to see what's going on all over the world. And we thought she'd gone mad. Look what we've got today. We've nothing to moan about. You've got everything.
We didn't have an awful lot of money. Because of course, when I was bringing up children, you didn't have disposable nappies. You had toweling ones, which got older and tattier. By the time they got to the third child, they were really a bit past it. You never threw anything away. And I think in the end they turned into floor cloths. They were tight, so yes, you reuse nappies.
One of the things that someone said to us early days we were here was, whenever you go into town, you'll always bump into somebody that you know.
There was a lot more community, yes, yeah. It was more of a village York then. Everybody knew everybody, and if you didn't know, you knew somebody who knew somebody.
Well, York is a historical town. What it can offer, it may not be similar to large, busy cities. The reason that I have survived here for 52 years is because I like this time. So it's to do with your personality.
And I think that's what attracts me as well, because I love my history. And I just moved to places like that in England. It's just fascinating because of the Romans, the Vikings, etc.
It's almost unique. You know, it's by accident that we're not the capital of England. I can't remember now how long there's been a military establishment in York, but it goes back to 7 AD or something like that. And it looks as if we're going to lose it, and you're going to lose that link and that bit of history.
It has changed enormously. Well, at the stage I am at now, I am quite nervous of coming into the city because there's too many people.
It's too busy for York residents. It's just purely and simply the amount of tourists that there is in York. Like, you walk down Coney Street and you're dodging people all the way down.
One of the things that particularly strikes me over the years in York has been the gradual diversity of the shopping experience, so that you can now get pretty much anything you fancy.
When I came at first, if you walked up Stonegate especially, they were all little family shops, you know, and that's all gone. And now I think there's not very much to come into York for, is there really? But it was lovely then.
The city centre, as it was and is, doesn't lend itself to the kind of retail activity that you get out in, you know, Clifton Moor, the Monk's Cross and MacArthur Glen. It has changed from being really a hub, and it's now, in a derogatory sense, people regard it as a student city and a visitor. Well, that brings an awful lot of income into the city centre, a lot of business into the city centre. Without that, those two activities, for want of a better word, York would be, I'm afraid, pretty sad state.
I used to have students. I used to put students up for ages, and I loved them. When I first lost Ted, I took students in, yes, it was nice. And young ones are full of life, aren't they?
But the thing is, we're all young. Once I joined the army, I was 19 before I got married, and they were the same. Did the same as students, 4 men in the room and all that. And, we go out drinking, we were usually a crowd of us.
I just feel they're so full of life. The younger generation are quite vibrant. And yeah, I just love them. I get a lot out of being with younger people. They're ready to accept change, and they're a way ahead of us as far as that's concerned, because you just accepted a lot years and years ago.
Yes, I think the younger generation are a lot more welcoming to people from different backgrounds and different races and all kinds of things. They've moved around more than we did when we were young. And so they're used to it, and they're used to mixing with people from other parts of the world and other backgrounds.
I always say the best thing for any place is people. And the people in York has changed, I have to admit. And people might not like that, but York was a lot whiter than it is now. And that's not a bad thing about York, but we did have a lot of racism here. And by the change of people, that has changed. We have quite a lot of blessings for people of all colors, but the change of attitude, change of perceptions. And so I think the best change in the city is its people.
I read a lot, and I always have read. One of my favourite books is Three Men in a Boat, and the author describes, he's looking at some ornaments up on the mantelpiece, and he says, these ornamental cats and dogs, which we think are so cheap, and the housemaid just drops and doesn't care about, perhaps one day they will end up in a museum. People will say, wonderful craftsmanship. That's what happens. Quite ordinary things suddenly become museum objects. You can never tell what's going to be an heirloom.
We're really excited to be taking part in the York 50 Plus Festival this year, 2023. The Parkinson's Art Group have just been working flat out to do our Eco Angels. People with Parkinson's and their partners, their family members, their carers who come and join in. And we explore all sorts of different media. And this year, this project, making the Eco Angels, has just been terrific fun.
Well, it's Izzy's wonderful vision. I don't know how she comes up with these amazing ideas for us to work on. I don't think any of us expected to be making angels or quite knew where to start, but Izzy thankfully has guided us with lots of eco-recyclable materials, and somehow angels are taking shape in the room.
Well, they're reused in many ways. All sorts of just cast off materials, whether it's garden canes, plant pots to make heads, it's just plastic, anything that's been thrown away.
When you're first diagnosed with Parkinson's, it's quite a huge thing to take on board, and where to start finding support. But actually I'm so delighted that I found this group. The calmness of it, 2 hours each week, gives you time to just chat and have a laugh.
I like the comradeship here, the meeting other people in the same position with the same illness. You can chat about it and forget the world.
The lovely children from the Little Acorns Nursery School came and danced with the angels. And that was just delightful. It was quite life affirming for our group here to see the younger people engaging with the things that they had made.
Well, this morning it was wonderful to arrive at the art class and find a huge group of children out playing with two of the angels, twirling them around, the wind catching their wings, which is just, I think, how Izzy envisaged it would be.
Despite all the things that Parkinson's throw at this group, and Parkinson's throws some pretty heavy challenges, despite all those challenges, this group have still remained positive, sociable, and very creative. And part of our class is not only to be creative, but to help each other. And you can see what's happening. People talk to each other, they exchange ideas, and they just enjoy life.